Have you ever stood in a noisy room at a party, a wedding, maybe even a train station, and somehow, over all the yelling and laughter and the clash of cutlery, you clearly hear your own name? Maybe you weren't even listening for it. You could be 30 feet from the bar, deep in an argument about pineapple on pizza, and still, your name cuts through the chaos like it was shouted straight into your ear. It happens in offices during group meetings, in school cafeterias, at the airport at 7 a.m. You weren't paying attention. You didn't even know you could hear that far. Still, your name finds you. Why is this such a specific superpower? Why can't we hear anything else this precisely in a noisy room? And why does it work even when we're pretending not to listen at all? This isn't just the magic of having good ears. Otherwise, you'd be able to pick up on random conversations about tax brackets from across the room too. Lucky you. But no, it's your own name, stuck in all that sound like a gemstone in gravel. There's a weird science behind it all, called the cocktail party effect. Psychologists started talking about it back in the 1950s, when parties apparently had even more cigarette smoke, but fewer playlists. But the cocktail party effect isn't just about hearing. It's about a strange kind of attention your brain performs, even when you think you're zoning out. The obvious, simple mechanism behind this is selective attention. Imagine you're in a huge, echoey hall. People are chatting, glasses clinking. There's a playlist leaking from a speaker behind a potted plant. Most of the time, your brain is being blasted with noise from every direction. But you don't really notice it, because your attention acts like a volume knob. It dials up the voice right in front of you, your friend explaining why they bought a blender, and dials down everything else. The world becomes background static. This is selective attention. For most noises, it's like having noise-canceling headphones built into your head. So how does your name slip through the cracks? Your name is a priority signal. Some words like fire or help are automatically flagged as important, but hardly anything gets through the filter like your own name. Scientists have actually wired up brains and watched how neurons light up when a person's name pops in the background. You can be doing a crossword, trying to look busy, and if someone at the next table whispers your name, parts of your brain light up faster than if they had shouted the word free snacks. It's like you have a bouncer in your head, checking every single word coming in. The only name on the VIP list? Yours. From birth, we're conditioned to treat our name as a signal worth turning our head for. You hear it thousands of times as a baby, and by the time you're sent to timeout for breaking a vase at age 7, your ears are permanently tuned. Stop throwing socks at the cat, Taylor. The message, you are now required. Also, the cat is not a target. So at the most basic level, your brain has set up a persistent search algorithm for your own name, even on autopilot. But filtering and tuning are the easy part. Underneath, there's an emotional mechanism at work. Your name is not just another sound, it's tangled up with your very sense of self. Hearing your name feels almost physical. If someone says it kindly, you get a little rush. If someone shouts it across a room, you might feel your chest tighten just a bit. Your name is the shortcut to your wallet of personal emotions. It delivers excitement, curiosity, fear, or just the creeping suspicion that you left your stove on. Lots of people remember exactly how their parents pronounced their full name when they were in trouble. Your sister could never quite land the right threatening tone, but somehow, your teacher always managed it. This emotional baggage turns your name into a sort of internal alarm clock. It means there's a little pulse in your brain, waiting to react, even if you're exhausted or half listening. That emotional trigger is so strong you'll sometimes think you heard your name when you didn't, even at a bar, or when you're alone at a cafe. A kind of name-based phantom limb syndrome. Or you hear a stranger call Dave, and you spin around, even though nobody here knows you. For 2 seconds, you are Dave. You are everyone. But this emotional wiring isn't universal. Some people with anxiety notice their name even more, almost like a bell that never stops ringing. Others, after years of blending into the background, barely blink when their name floats by. And then there's the social mechanism. In a room full of people, hearing your name isn't just a signal, it's an invitation. A party is basically an ocean of overlapping circles. Each group is its own little island of words. But when someone says your name, a bridge is suddenly laid down, inviting you into their island. Your name doesn't just pull your attention, it tells you you're now part of a different social game. Think about the last time you heard your name in a crowd. You probably paused, even if it was mid-sentence, and looked up, searching for the face that called you. You've entered a social transaction. Maybe someone wants your opinion on nachos. Maybe someone needs help moving a couch. There's always a transfer of attention. Sometimes, sadly, your reward is just a polite question like, which side does the fork go on? In work meetings, your name is used to spotlight you. Emily, what do you think? Suddenly, you're the main character, at least for the next 30 seconds. Mentioning someone's name draws them in, even if they were halfway out the door, mentally checking their messages under the table. It's a signal that someone is talking to you, not just about you. The brain knows the social rules, even if part of you just wants to finish your slice of cake in peace. This is why some people experiment with using people's names in conversation to draw attention. Sometimes it's flattering. Sometimes it feels like an interrogation. Either way, your name in a noisy room is a social leash, yanking you toward whoever said it. Now, the weirdest twist, there's also a deeply personal mechanism. Your brain is tuned just for you, literally. Even if you change your name, pick a nickname, or avoid hearing it, your brain sets up a little VIP line for any sound that means you. It leaks into other parts of your life. Ever been at a park and heard someone call mom, and half the women look up, or coach, and suddenly 6 tired people snap to attention? It's not the word alone. It's the way you've been called by it, your personal signal, through your years and moods. Your brain maps what counts as you, sometimes in surprising ways. I once watched a dog ignore a dozen shouts but perk up instantly at his nickname, Pancake, even with a blender roaring nearby. Or online, you skim massive group chats and somehow see your username mentioned in a flood of messages. Our sense of identity is maintained by these little beacons. We notice what matches our inner address. Sometimes, it's not even our real name. Maybe it's, hey dude, at a gig, or that specific whistle your friend uses when they want you to look over. Or that phrase, can you help me for a sec? Which humans are weirdly unable to filter out, even at your most antisocial. Whatever the form, your attention is like a lighthouse, sweeping for anything that means you. So your name, that everyday word, is basically the password that unlocks the floodgates of your consciousness. So what do we actually do with this strange quirk? Almost everyone is convinced they're good at tuning things out, scrolling past headlines, zoning out in meetings, ignoring the neighbors yelling about the recycling bin. But our brains are always scanning for something more personal. Your ability to hear your name when you thought you weren't listening is proof that you're always, quietly, looking for a signal that means, pay attention now. Maybe it's good to remember how narrow our filter really is. Out of all that noise, some things are just destined to get through. It means that when you want someone to notice, just a single word can turn an ocean of chaos into a sudden spotlight. Or that you forgive yourself for missing plenty of conversations you were never really meant to hear. And if you find your concentration broken right at the mention of your name, maybe it's just the universe's way of saying you're still part of the party, even if you're hiding out near the snack table. Because as long as someone out there knows your name, you'll never be perfectly invisible. Next time you hear your name over the roar, just know your brain was never really lost in the noise. For more weird reasons behind everyday superpowers, subscribe to The Weird Reason.